Back today to talk about characters. People always ask me where I get ideas for characters and things like that, so I thought I would do a video on it. Originally, there are some books that I have that just really took my writing to the next level, but I want to give you all something that, since we're all in our little locked-in spaces, that maybe you could use for entertainment options as well. So instead of talking about the books in this video, I'm going to talk about some things that you can stream and download and take a look at that I think are just excellent characters. And the writers behind them have to be very careful. The first one is Last Man Standing, Tim Allen's show. It's now on Fox, but actually Tim Allen is always wonderful. I just always love everything he does. But the character that I really want to talk about on there is Ryan, because Ryan, which is Jordan Masterson is his actual name, but the character Ryan is kind of set up to be the guy that you don't like. You're not supposed to like him. But he does, Jordan Masterson pulls that role so well that he does it perfectly, and even when you disagree with whatever Ryan is saying or doing, you still like the character. That's a very hard thing to pull off. And anytime that I'm watching TV or reading a book, I read, watch, listen, everything as a writer. And I watch character movements and the things that they do to get ideas about what they do. And I think Ryan is just a really great character, especially how he plays off of Tim Allen. Of course, everybody in Last Man Standing is really good. Caitlin Dever and all the rest of them are fantastic. But especially Ryan, just because he has that difficult character of kind of rubbing the main character, kind of being, antagonist and protagonist both sometimes. And that's always very fascinating of how writers do that. That's very hard to do, to write a bad, negative character and make him still likable. And that brings me to my next one. The next one is from Good Girls. And in the Good Girls, if you've ever been on Twitter when Good Girls are on, you will understand this. And if you haven't been on Twitter when Good Girls are on, I highly suggest it. The tweets are hilarious on there. Manny Montana, who pulls off the role of Rio just brilliantly, is amazing. I can't say enough good things about the writers of Good Girls. They are just absolutely incredible. It's been a long time since I've seen a show so well written that deals with such odd, diverse, criminal things that actually you still root for the characters. Manny Montana is Rio in it, and he is actually a gangster. So you would think, we're not talking like Goodfellas and all that. Rio is a hot gangster. He, and everybody on Twitter knows it, especially the girls. We don't even care. We don't even care that he's gangster. But why don't we care? Normally, you can't say, oh, it's just the girls want a bad guy and all that kind of stuff. It's more than that, and the writers knew that, and they gave him mannerisms and things, very, very simple things, like his love interest. Don't know that you'd really call it that. It's a very complex relationship, but well worth watching. Any writer should really watch that whole relationship from beginning to end between Beth and Rio. It's just a study in excellent writing. But Rio, Beth is his love interest, as I said. Rio doesn't always call her Beth. He calls her Elizabeth. And just how he pulls that off, it's unique because nobody else calls her that. And then the way he delivers the line, it creates a connection between the two of them that gives the insinuation she doesn't have with anybody else. Because you don't hear anybody else, her sister, her friend, her husband, even call her Elizabeth. Only Rio calls her Elizabeth. And like I said, he does it in that really sexy voice, so score. Then there's the, Manny Montana made taking his hand and pushing hair out of a woman's face a work of art. Those slow movements that he does, and he just moves her hair from her face, things like that, things that he says to her, how they interact. Now, don't get me wrong, they have crazy stuff going on too. I mean, I don't want to give you a lot of spoilers on it, but let's just say it's not always all fun and games, but underlying everything in between them, there's always this tension, this rub, that the writers have been able to keep going now for 3 seasons. The first season, I think, is on Netflix It originates on NBC, and it comes on Sunday nights in NBC. But no, I'm not being paid to say anything about these programs. But it's very interesting because they can take these characters on Good Girls and create very small things and make them mean a lot. Like him pushing hair out of her face, calling her Elizabeth, things like that they do that can really make a character. So when you're watching TV or when you're reading a book or something, don't always look for the most obvious. Look for the subtle things. And there's other things in Rio's mannerisms, especially where he kind of tilts his head and looks at her, and even when he's yelling at her and all that kind of stuff, it's still, everybody still roots for him. Everybody still roots for the gangster guy and the housewife, pretty much. Instead of the housewife and her loony husband, they root for the gangster. When you can take a character and you can do that, or you can take a character like Kyle on Last Man Standing and create unique dialogue and things that they do, it is really good. Now, back to Kyle. I had mentioned Brian earlier on Last Man Standing. I know I kind of jumped around. I don't have notes for this, so you're all just going to have to deal with it. Okay, Kyle is also a very unique character because they write lines for him, and the lines they write are excellent, but how he delivers them is even better, because as you watch Last Man Standing progress, you see Kyle change into a very unique character. And yeah, he's the goofball and that kind of stuff, but he's also the sweetheart of the bunch, and they give him some mannerisms too, of where he's kind of known as the guy that never gets mad. So when he is mad, that makes it even funnier. So while we're all locked in, I would suggest go check out Last Man Standing. And I'm not sure when it comes on TV, but you can get all the episodes, download them, stream them. You can do that, and check out Good Girls too, and just watch, make some notes, look at things that you like about characters, things that you don't like, and think about this as a little writing prompt. Think about, what if you get locked in, mandatory lock-in with someone you can't stand. Say you went to your ex's house to pick up the kids, and suddenly you got quarantined in there and you all had to be together. Take characters that would not have things in common, that would not get along, put them in a quarantine situation, mandatory, where they can't get out, and have them interact. What sorts of things would happen? What if someone takes the last roll of toilet paper? What are you going to do? So those are excellent writing prompts, and those are things that I really like to do, because it really challenges you as a writer to be able to bring two characters together with two very diverse personalities and ideas and have them interact in a good and meaningful, hopefully positive way. And no one in your book gets shot or anything, but sometimes shooting them is necessary evil. So that's about all I have for today, guys. Thanks for coming. If you like this video, ring my little bell and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.